What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Eternal Evolution, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Vanguard hero, Zane. One thing I'll say is initial impression, man, they do a good job balancing out most of these Vanguards. They're almost all like equal damage numbers overall, but I do want to make sure to take 1 second. If you guys are one of my Aptoide users, you guys spend money on the game and you use our code and Aptoide to save like 20 to 30% on every pack, make sure you guys jump on over to your AppCoins wallet because our previous code has expired. What I need you guys to do is go down to rewards and go to promo codes. We have a brand new one here, Barry GT, kind of like, you know, Dragon Ball GT. Barry GT, submit that, and that's going to add the 5% bonus back on all purchases. You'll get this active once again, and you'll be able to get the 5% again. So make sure you guys do that, otherwise you're going to be missing out on those free app coins. Now, this hero is interesting. I kind of like the way he works, and we kind of set him up gear wise, mainly just to go after Bugmaster. Now, if you're going to use him in other game modes and stuff, you might want to build him for accuracy. You might want to do something like that. But honestly, the fact that Zane permanently gains attack equal to 2% of his max HP each time Zane takes damage, he recovers 2% max HP. He just synergizes very, very well with that effect. Now, as you guys can see, we don't even have him leveled up all the way. We don't even have him with his level 20 exclusive, and his talents are not complete. We're actually missing 2 of them that are kind of important, but he still does really, really well. His abilities are very strong, and he's doing a lot of damage, and he's only at legendary 0. He's not even immortal 0 just yet. He does have some really good damage that cannot crit, which kind of is nice. It's refreshing that Vanguards don't have to worry about the crit stat, because then you just go all in on HP, all in on attack, or something else different. There is one exclusive bonus with his Blade of Fate ultimate. If you do get him to 150 accuracy, Blade of Fate will hit an additional time. So keep that in mind. You might want to go for that. Me personally, since most of the battles we're going in are like AoE, it might be better going that route. And one easy way you can do that is by going with a helmet with 100 instead of going like HP like you do on boots and on gloves. Going accuracy here can make a difference, because I think we're running him with, yeah, just over 200, which is a little overkill. In reality, we could probably, man, if we could get some better rolls on other pieces of gear, getting 150 is not bad because you only need 90 in total. But getting the rolls to be any decent on like secondary pieces of gear is really hard, especially when we want damage to insectoids as well on our set pieces. Some of our pieces have some like wasted crit chance and stuff like that, but most of these are attack, HP, accuracy, and damage reduction. So overall, the hero looks absolutely amazing. He's like a butterfly moth for Atlas. He's really cool, but one thing you really need him for is this current endless battle. So I've already gone through on both these bosses and got all of these chest rewards, and we're currently hitting for like 64 million. Now that doesn't compare to what the tippy top players are doing in our server cluster, and that's mainly because if you take a look at them, they got like literally almost maxed out everything. They have much stronger prototypes and everything. Commanders are stronger. My commander, as you're about to see, is more set up for our assassins. I don't have another one that is set up for them, so they're only getting additional attack. But one thing that is relevant in this one is we are using Nafang. He is going to be giving us a bonus up here. So as you guys can see, you get the hero of the week. They get, I think he's giving 5% bonus. You can look out here. Yep, 5% point bonus. So you want to try to use everybody that is in this squad. And actually, ooh, hold on. I actually realized we are using you instead of Leo on my best one. So let's see if our damage goes up with running Leo. And like you see, everybody's essentially running Bugmaster except for Nafang. We are using the brand new prototype Divine Veil, which gives them shields. And with that, we're going to try to just go with the Chaos Chip. Giving them 40% additional attack is huge. If survivability ever becomes an issue or they're losing the shield a ton, Impulse of Annihilation is a great one because it gives 20% damage amp when it drops off. But I don't think survivability matters in this one, and we're going to run Bloodthirsty Crest just because if they do bleed, they'll get additional damage. So Let's go. Let's see what his damage looks like when it stacks up to our others, because Leo is very strong on our account right now. We, of course, have not a maxed out SP hero with Heimdall, but he's still very, very strong here. And yeah, I didn't realize that we were using the wrong hero. We were using Barog instead of Leo. And honestly, their damage is very similar. Barog definitely has better damage potential in my opinion, but yeah, if you look at the team, pretty much everybody is sticking with a full shield, which is the most important part of this. You want every hero to be always have a shield. The second a shield drops off, that means they're losing that 40% attack, which is pretty big. So you kind of hope that they can keep that shield going. It looks like the only one that is having an issue keeping it up is Heimdall. So that kind of sucks. And that is the one disadvantage of running the Nafang, is you might have this situation happen. Whereas if we're using a Purin, it might work out better. So let's try this way. We'll keep Leo in the lineup, and then we'll try putting Purin in to feed more energy. That might help. We could also try a Fiona just to see what the better results is. But you can see here, most of these other heroes we have, they're not, of course, Immortal 5 per se, but they have exclusive 30. They have very good gear, and they are set up to be powerful. We did just get him to level 120, so he is maxed out level-wise, so he's not missing any stats there at all. And yeah, it looks like by throwing the Leo in the lineup, that made a huge difference from our Barog. I must have had the wrong preset going when I did it earlier today. So yeah, we're actually getting very competitive with our damage. Now, the Nafang can also buff your Vanguards too. Man, this is actually really good. You can see, but Leo, even though he is SSS plus hero now, and he's very much advanced, he's not quite there when it comes to damage still. Now, that does put us back in first place, which does feel good. Let's try one more, and let's see what it looks like with a Purin in here, feeding that energy, because now that will mean Heimdall has like 100% uptime at this point. Ooh, wait, hold on. Actually, if that's the case, if we're using Purin, we probably just want to change this over to Revitalization Crystal. That way, additional healing will turn into shields, which means that none of them should lose their shield at this point. They, of course, gain a big one from movement abilities because of the Dragon Commander, but they shouldn't drop off at this point because Purin is going to be constantly overhealing them. Oddly enough, Leo is getting the energy, or I guess I should say rage buff from the Purin, which is not optimal. We'd rather have that on other heroes, but I mean, if that's the way it's happening, that's the way it's happening. And it's additional damage either way, because she is feeding additional energy to all the heroes on the battlefield. Like I said, we'll try it with Purin, but I feel like they gain their rage so fast on this boss anyway. Sometimes Purin isn't as good, and we're missing out on that bonus 5% from the Nafang, so we have to see how this works. We can then try Fiona and see if that is any better, but honestly, most people are using Nafang because of the bonuses, and the support in these aren't doing too much. I guess we could try to put an additional damage dealer in, but I feel like an additional damage dealer, I don't know if that's going to be equal to 5% additional bonus points. It could be. Like, we could just run 5 actual damage dealer Vanguards, and that's what we're going to test here today. We're going to do a bunch of different ones, but again, I want to make this video today. Make sure you guys that are using Aptoide don't miss out on that bonus 5%. Put the Barry GT in there. If you guys don't know about Aptoide, check out the description down below. We have the way to download Aptoide, download the game through Aptoide. Make sure you guys have your login information, otherwise you might get locked out of your account. Get the AppCoins wallet downloaded, and then of course, last and certainly not least, use the code BarryGT, and that'll get you 5% additional AppCoins, which will be usable on future purchases. The damage is looking very similar to the Nafang, honestly. It looks very, very similar. I don't know if we'll get up to 68 here in the last 10 seconds. Probably not enough damage to do that. However, it might be a new record though. Might actually be a new record. 67.5 is just shy of what we just did. So Nafang, definitely better in this spot right here. Let's try one other support hero in this mix, and that is going to be our Fiona, because of course she does give buffs for enemies being on the enemies or allies being on the enemy side of the battlefield. So let's see what it looks like with her instead. She will of course have an easier time keeping those shields up as well, but she also gives a burst of energy very early on too, so this could be interesting. The only other thing we could try is putting like the Barog back in or something like that to see if he could do additional damage in this situation, but I don't think points wise that's going to make any sense. Fiona honestly makes your team immune a lot during this battle as well. That's not very relevant. I really just want to see if she's keeping the buff, the shield up on our Heimdall. Heimdall is losing a shield quite often, actually. It's kind of annoying. He is moving pretty quick now, and it really just depends on if he's getting focused or not, if he keeps his shield. Surprisingly, though, Fiona is not able to keep the shield going on him 100%, so he must be getting targeted with the damage, which is why he's using more ultimate skills, but let's see how this goes. We're about to hit 60 million points, which means we got 45 seconds to see if we can get closer to 70 million and those top rankers. Honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. The Nafang strategy seems to be the best one because he does also buff your Vanguard, so it's not like he's just there as a additional 5%, because you could use the other Vanguard that is the up bonus and it's not going to be as good. 65 with 23 seconds to go, but as you go higher in points, they come slower and slower. Up to 66. We got to get close to 68 for this to even be a valid option, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're actually going to fall short. Maybe even 67. Gonna be close. We might break 67. Yeah, we do break 67, but just barely. So definitely not as good. The Nafang strategy is definitely the top one, so keep that in mind. And yeah, this hero is pretty much necessary to get the bonus points in this event. So even if you just get one copy, that's better than not having him at all. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We will show you guys some more Zane action in the future here, and I'll see you guys next time.